with Christian Rasmussen, the CEO of The Pool, a co-working place in the heart of Marbella that everybody's been hearing about over the last couple of years now, almost 2 years. Hi, Christian.
Hi, Alfredo.
Just for the sake of simplicity, The Pool has nothing to do with Speedos.
Not yet. No, we actually have had that question several times. Where does the name The Pool come from? And yeah, it's the vision is different, right? We saw this talent that was residing now in Marbella, and we decided, hey, there's a pool of talent here that we can make the most out of. That's where it comes from. So not so much lifeguards and flip-flops and the Speedos. Right?
Today, yesterday there was a big spread in the Spanish Sur, the local newspaper, about The Pool. Mm-hmm. And it references something that is very close to what I am dealing with, which is the real estate sector. Mm-hmm. And the biggest single trend that I've witnessed in 12, 15 years, which is families relocating to Marbella to do business, to live, to put the kids in schools, far beyond golf courses and yachting and all that kind of thing. And The Pool appears to be the epicenter of that movement. And in the paper, you mentioned something kind of interesting, which is Marbella 2.0. Tell me, what is Marbella 2.0?
Well, Marbella 2.0, the way I see it, will be the galvanization of what you just said. Marbella used to have a certain appeal, which is still there, don't get me wrong. I mean, we love that the quality of life in Marbella is brilliant, and that's the magnet that brings people here. But when you start attracting this new profile of people who come looking to put their kids into these amazing schools we have here to enjoy a better quality of life, all of a sudden you bring in these entrepreneurs here who have certain expectations of what their life needs to look like. And for that, they need platforms. So you come to Marbella, it's like, okay, we've got these things, but there are several things that are missing. The pool aspires to be that. What we see as Marbella 2.0 is that Marbella has the potential to become a business hub. Not a destination for people to play golf and retire, which it will still be, which makes sense, but there's so much more to it. So we just found that the Marbella 2.0 vision is what we want to be and what we want to promote.
But this isn't just a pie-in-the-sky idea that you're sort of going to start. You're already quite far into this movement. In fact, The Pool was created by a bunch of entrepreneurs looking for a place to do business, correct?
Exactly.
And that has meant that this as a business, certainly from what I've witnessed over the last couple of years, it isn't a space, it's a beautiful building, everybody knows, but it isn't a space where you try to fill people that have a sort of way of thinking. It started with people with that way of thinking. So here at The Pool, if you throw a rock, you're going to hit a CEO or a startup or founder or unicorn, investor. It's mad. The level here is not what you would expect typically, where you might find a bunch of students working on their laptops in a corner somewhere. And so co-working space is what it is on a practical basis, but what it is in spirit is a whole lot more. Is that about right?
It is. I mean, this entire Marbella 2.0 thing was the drop that was missing, or the concept that was missing, because we had built this from entrepreneurial mindset. Like, we need to be this meeting point for this profile that is now in Marbella. So all of a sudden we realized, okay, we need to redefine ourselves. So, let's not forget we are a startup. The concept has been up and running for 4 years. The building has been open for 2 in May. But, we keep on adapting and realizing, and the beauty of it is that we adapt according to the community that we've created, right? And then all of a sudden we realize, okay, what do we have in common? Every single person that's here, everybody who comes here to work and their day-to-day, what do they have in common? It's like, yeah, these guys see the appeal of being here and being with like-minded people that actually are entrepreneurs, that want to make Marbella better, that want to add this angle to Marbella that wasn't there before. And that's where the Marbella 2.0 just, fit like a glove. And I know it might sound sometimes a little bit arrogant, these guys consider themselves the Marbella 2.0, but it's a vision that everybody's welcome to join. We're just the ones that saw it, and we think that there's an amazing potential for this. And I honestly believe that Marbella 2.0 is going to go through different phases. I think the first one is going to be to actually gather all the talent that we've got in Marbella and these people that want to make Marbella a better place. Talk about the clean tech vertical that's looking how we can maximize the usage of water and regenerative agriculture in Spain. The blockchain vertical as well that put together this amazing community and knowledge and this knowledge base, everybody together. And then from there onwards, Investor Club, there's just so much. So the first step is actually to get all these people together and consolidate. Number two, if you ask me, would be to break this barrier between Marbella and Malaga.
Okay.
So that Marbella 2.0 is a Marbella that's established, and phase number two, it's open.
Because Malaga has had a lot of publicity over the last 2 or 3 years on the sort of tech side of things, Silicon Valley of Europe, etc. Right? Marbella is really not been in that kind of conversation
No.
until now. And do you see there being some sort of collaborative or synergies between what's happening in Malaga and what's happening here? And how does it differ? What do you say?
I mean, the reason Maravilla's never been part of that picture, I would say is completely justified. It's always been its own its own independent entity floating around, and, Maravilla's Marbella. They even have their own climate, for God's sakes. It's very independent. But I think now, with this, especially after COVID, we've got this talent that is moving here, entrepreneurs, etc. We've got something that is really worth sharing. And we're not just talking about the, let's call it, monetary aspect to it. We've got a lot of investors, people who could actually invest in interesting projects, etc. But let's put on the focus the knowledge, the experience, the level he got here. We were talking about the Unicorn Founders Group, right? 6 unicorn founders sitting together on a table. I think that happened quite recently. Imagine the experience you have there. If you can maximize the input or the output you can get from that gathering and then dilute that into the rest of the society here, it's amazing. And then if we put that together with what's happening in Malaga, which, companies like Tecra, Vodafone, Google, it's just amazing. So if we can put that together, I think we've got an amazing ingredients to create an amazing recipe.
But tell me about a thing that you have called the Pool of Towns.
Yeah.
What is it? Who's it for? Why are you doing it?
Under the same concept, you look at Malaga as a province. Forgot the exact number, but you've got a very high density of international schools. Some of them ranked as the best of Europe. So once again, let's think about the talent we've got there. Now we're not talking about entrepreneurs. Now we're talking about the next generation entrepreneurs, the next generation experienced unicorn founders, etc., etc. So if you've got these amazing schools, what are the odds that you're going to have some of the most successful entrepreneurs right here? What do they need? Education and experience. Can we provide that experience through the experienced entrepreneurs that we have here? Yeah, put them two together. And once again, that comes.
So this is an initiative. So this is an initiative for high school students. Is that right?
It's very recent. So we have done a couple of events with the Pool of Talents, and right now it's people who are on the last years of school per se, before they need to go over to university. Right now we've got Lily, we've got Yuval, and we've got Lucas, and we've got Carlota. We've got some really hungry kids who want to put this together. And the beauty of it is it's kind of obviously got our guidance. It's me, Frederick Borgia, we've got Iris, and we've got Maria Cepero as well, who are involved in it. And our objective is obviously to give the kids the experience and maybe the platform to do it, but then it's them driving it, right? So the first thing is we are approaching the schools to bring these students who are interested in this kind of program together, step number 1. Step number 2 is then, okay, what do you guys need? Number 2 is obviously we're looking into doing field trips, and so they can meet Google in Malaga, where the cybersecurity center is there, do different excursions that they want to do. We've did events when we put them together with Ignacio Alonso, who's a really experienced and young and experienced Spanish entrepreneur here in Malaga, although his experience is most based in Madrid, but he's living here now. And Andreas Mihalovic, who is part of the board of the Pool Marbella, angel investor, 182 companies. So put together that experience, the young talent that's emerging, We'll see what happens. Our long-term view for the pool of talents, or at least my dream, would be that we could create some kind of beca. What do you call that? That's a
Grant.
scholarship,
Like
grant or
scholarship, grants.
Yeah, exactly, for kids to get into certain universities, etc., etc. Once again, that's a long-term view, but I think that vision is one of the things that's going to impact really positively in Marbella, and then consequently, obviously, in Malaga and the province in general.
Because the kids that go to school here, myself included, the view you're raised to finish high school and go to university somewhere else in Europe, generally speaking, right?
Exactly.
And build a career there, and then really, at least my generation, and I presume it's the same for everybody else, you spend probably the next 15 years, 20 years working abroad, wishing you could come back. But there's no work opportunities here. You can come back thinking, I'm either going to have to like sell drinks at a restaurant in a chiringuito or work for a friend or something like that. There's no career opportunities. So that lack of a further education possibility outside of the Malaga University and the lack of job opportunities, work experience, internship, that's also part of your vision for this. Is that right?
Obviously, the first step for a pool talent, which is the most obvious reason we did it as well, is what can we provide them with? Work experience, right? So we've got all these companies who are here, so these kids can actually get this work experience that's needed. However, looking in the long term, it's exactly what you mentioned. We've got some hospitality university here and some other things. But I mean, the kids who are really focused on a proper education, they are more or less forced to leave. There are two readings there. I think one of them is quite good. The fact that you go abroad, experience, travel, etc., is always beneficial. However, I think you and I as parents, wouldn't it be great to have an opportunity to have your kids here as well if they wish to stay, to have that first level education? We're talking at London School of Economics, we're talking Harvard, Stanford, one of those. So apart from the pool of talents, we at the pool always had this long-term goal to be able to impact enough to bring this high-level education to the area. Once again, call it daydreaming, call it whatever, but I know there have been several projects before who were almost gotten there but failed. So let's see if this time it actually works. And the second angle to it as well is that we're talking about the inbound, okay? But then imagine the people that are, at the same time coming here for that high-level education. It's the right kind of people that are going to look for the benefit of Marbella and the entire Andalusia, I think. And it's one of those beacons that attract the right kind of people that are going to create positive impact. We're not talking about people coming here to party, what do you call them, stag nights or these kind of things. No, you're talking about a completely new level of people coming here who want Marbella and Malaga to succeed.
Let's talk a little bit about the community that you have here, because we've kind of assumed people know this. How many nationalities would you say that that's stab in the dark? What kind of who works? What do we have here?
Okay.
People.
Well, right now, when it comes to our member count in general, we're looking at 370 people that we managed to put together in less than 2 years. So really happy with that. Comes to nationalities, I would say we're looking at between 36 and 39. We're looking at that range. And that is quite amazing. Number one, it's quite of a reflection of what Marbella is, right? You walk around the street and you don't find one nationality that's, dominant. I would say that the biggest group we've got is Swedish, but from there, Russian, Ukrainian, French, Polish, Americans, Canadians, Iran, we've got so many, Norwegian, Danish, Germans. I mean, we've got a lot.
The American ones are quite interesting because that's a market from a real estate perspective that we haven't generally seen in Marbella until recently.
Yeah, it's made a little bit of a noise lately.
Yeah. What sort of Americans do we have here? What sort of profile is it?
It's funny because I was talking to Vicente Ortiz, the one in charge of the blockchain vertical very recently. And it seems that now there's a certain connection between Miami, Marbella, Dubai. Those are the kind of the angles and where the business is moving, right? And it's funny that Marbella, if you compare to Dubai and to Miami, I mean, look at the size of Marbella, right? But it's there. It's on the radar. So the profile of people coming here are business entrepreneurs. We're talking about mainly from the tech industry, I would say. At least the ones that I'm in contact with. I know there are many people coming from the real estate world as well. But people are coming here, and the beauty is that they're bringing a vision of what a Silicon Valley could look like. And that is the beauty, obviously, when I sit down with them, I want to know more, I want to learn more to see where, where we're standing on a positive way and the things that we need to work on. So the background is that tech entrepreneurs coming here, quite economically powerful, and once again, really willing to impact the local community.
What about business people coming here, maybe initially to work out of here since they have a house here?
Mm-hmm.
But is there a trend towards people bringing their teams over here from their home countries, or is it just the CEOs that are hanging out here?
I would say there are many who, obviously, CEOs is like our bread and butter. I mean, that's they're one to come here, and then obviously they have their daily meetings with the team who are abroad in Poland, in the States, and all over the place. They do want to more and more have that physical contact and presence with the team. But then we incur in kind of a problem that I see here on the coast, which is affordable lodging for their team. It's becoming more and more difficult. Obviously, if we put Marbella, it's a clear case. But I think now even Malaga, I think I think it was Citigroup actually who was made an article about this, how difficult it was to find economical lodging for their team, which is something, I think it's the number one problem when it comes to ticket companies willing to bring their team here.
Housing, right?
Housing,
Okay, that's nasty.
yeah.
Okay, so what's the future for the pool? Is it expansion to more pools?
Obviously, we've got investors who backing us up, who made the pool possible, right? And then obviously, when it comes to the tech industry, as soon as something's working, it's like, hey,
Scale it.
just to scale like crazy. Then, but to be honest, what we've created here is not a co-working space. If you find a solution, I don't know, let's talk about if we're going to refer to the big multinational companies in co-working industries, you can see the consequences of what happens when you expand too fast, right?
WeWork.
For instance. Then, yeah, it is a good, easy way to get your market share. But once again, our vision was not necessarily just to put desks and fill offices. That is how we can afford actually to continue doing what we're doing, the vision of the Marbella 2.0. But first, we need to double down on what we're doing here that's actually working. So my ideal situation is what I mentioned before. First step to consolidate what we've got here, which in a year and a half to 2 years, I think we've doing well, or at least managed to do it up to now. I think we've more or less got that covered. Number 2 would be obviously breaking the barriers with Malaga. So that would be actually an option, an interesting move to continue with that vision of having a good impact in the local community.
Your name does not sound local. This is what I know. You fill in the gap. So you're Swedish born,
Yeah, Swedish parents.
raised here. Where? Tell me, who are you?
Born in Sweden. When I was 2, we moved to New Zealand. I lived there to the age of 7 or 8. And since then, I've been living here.
In the Costa del Sol.
Costa del Sol,
You're
in
Mijas
in
Costa.
Mijas, exactly. So I went to school, Spanish school. When I entered school here, I knew how to say hola and bien. From there onwards, obviously now Spanish is probably my first language. Obviously, then I studied hotel management in.
You worked in London, didn't you?
Yeah. Then a part of my internship, you do 3 internships in the hospitality school, or the hotel management school that I studied.
Where did you study?
In La Roche Marbella.
Okay,
Yeah.
local boy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I might go back to London. So
Yeah, exactly. So the last year I worked in London, stayed there. I think it was for a year and a half, 2 years, and I worked in the States, in Barcelona, different places. But it's what you mentioned before. You always envision is like, oof, I miss Costa del Sol. For me, when I was working in London, even your day offs need to squeeze in the tube, and I don't know, just the rhythm life there was like chaotic. And then all of a sudden you come here. I remember it was my sister's birthday, a wedding. So I came here, I think it was in July. And you just realize like, wow, take your car, drive up to Mijas, drive into Marbella one day. It's just amazing. So then you realize like, hey, it's a different pace. And we were thinking about having kids at that time.
Your wife is from
Guatemala.
Guatemala, it's a South American wife.
Yeah.
2 kids.
2 kids, 15 and 10. Yeah. Going to a British school.
And prior to the pool, you were working in basically office manager, like this sort of thing, right?
Exactly. I worked for, I think it was 6 or 7 years at Regis when it comes to business centers, renting offices. So I opened the one in Malaga, actually. I was running the one in Marbella. I opened the one in Malaga. From there, I was headhunted to a family office. The people behind Corte Fiel, Women's Secret, so it's a big retail brand. They had a lot of portfolio that they wanted to rent out, so that's when I came and rented out for office space. So yeah, and then I was actually it was at Corte Inglés who introduced me
To the founders.
The founders of the pool. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we all know Regis.
Yeah.
What would you say the number one difference between the pool and Regis might be in the office space sort of way?
I would turn the question. I think the only thing we have in common is the fact that we've got office space to rent. That's it. I mean, even the conversations I have, I remember when back at Regis, you sat down with people and everything was like, okay, how many square meters do you need? How many people are going to be working in the office? You're looking to expand. That's it. For me, the conversation is completely different. Hey, what do you do? What does your business do? What kind of meetings would benefit your business? What kind of events would be good for your business? What kind of people would you like to meet? So it's a complete different focus. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously it fits more into the Marbella 2.0 thing. I learned a lot from Regis, and it's so much that I learned from Regis, and you learn a lot in general working for a multinational company, structure, procedures.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is a business, isn't it?
It is. It is.
It may be the sort of, hub of activity that's the Marbella 2.0,
Exactly.
but it's, you got to pay electricity bill at the end of the day, don't you? So it still is a business, and you still have investors. As much as I've met a lot of the investors, or some of them, and they love this place. They use this place. They've built a place that they want to work at themselves, and that's a big difference.
I think it makes all the difference. I mean, imagine, say that you're, as you are, tremendously wealthy man. And, exactly, yeah. Then you just work for fun, and then all of a sudden you realize that, hey, we're building something that I actually love. It's a place that I would actually pay to join. I mean, that must be amazing.
So we've done a bunch of interviews with different founders and different people that are involved with the pool, high-level people. And the common thing I've taken away from all of it is the most common expression I hear is, I came here, I felt that I needed a community to keep myself engaged. I was going to build a place, and then I found the pool, so I thought, hey, this is exactly what I wanted. That seems to be the common thread, isn't it?
Exactly.
It kind of built what they wanted for them, and that seems to be attracting them.
I mean, it makes their life easy, right? And it was like, I don't have to build it from scratch, it's already there. But I mean, from the people that you've interviewed, I could already think of 4 people that have probably said that sentence, right?
Yep.
And it's people with amazing backgrounds. And once again, they had this vision that there is more to Marbella. We got to build it. But obviously, if you've already set the first stone, why not just continue with what we've done?
Okay, so wrap up then. You have several very good co-working places in Marbella. I think where some might have like places to sleep and places to have jacuzzis or play ping pong, this is more...
There is actually a place, I think a couple that have actual pools.
Swimming pools.
It says swimming pools.
Oh, okay.
Which, we as the pool, we don't.
Right.
But yeah, it's the irony behind it.
This is a chill place, but it is a business place, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I think that's the difference.
I think, once again, I'm sorry to just referring back to the same thing, but It's the community that decides what the pool is. So here it's people who are hungry, who want to build something, who need that kind of vibe, the entrepreneurial vibe. It got people to brainstorm with, to see events happening. Whereas a place that you can actually go and talk to somebody is like, hey, I've got this problem, but how would you focus it? And you can just sit down at the table and see like people from different industries who are more than willing to give you that input that maybe you need. I think that's what makes us different. And actually, that's a question that I would like to do to you. I mean, sometimes when I think about the pool, I actually refer back. It's like, okay, how would Alfredo see this? So what do you think is it that, two questions. One of them is what kind of makes the pool special when it comes to a place to work? And then how do you, from your impression as a member, a collaborator, where do you see the next steps would be?
I think as a place to work, the biggest shock is that when you tell someone you're going to have a meeting at a place where they're a co-working place, the perception is that it's a step down from having your own place. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Whenever I have had any meeting here or even witness other people having meetings, I realize it's a step up. They come into here and they go, and it's always the same as, wow, the place looks amazing and feels amazing. And the level here is out of this planet. You're rubbing shoulders with people having coffees behind you, giving you hugs that you would have to go through 17 levels of management to even get to speak to them. And they just sat behind you and they're throwing bits of paper at your head, having a giggle. The level is what blows me away. In terms of, what was your second question?
The future. What would you see as a user or for your image? I know that you're obviously a collaborator, you know, you and I, we brainstorm a lot together, but what do you see if you look egoistically at what you would expect the future of the pool to be? What would that look like?
I think the pool would look like it looks. I think the biggest threat to the pool is that in many ways it is as good as it can get. And how can you improve it? I don't know. If it was like this in 5 years' time, I'd be happy. And I like change. But you've kind of nailed it. You've nailed it. There's really nothing to add. I know it's a bit boring to say that, and I'm not saying it to be nice or anything like that. I think you've nailed it.
I think I posted yesterday on LinkedIn, right? I mean, it was a kind of a moment for me yesterday when I sat down, I opened the paper, and I saw this article. And what you said, you like change. And then when I look at how we started, like 2 years before we opened, we launched these Marbella Tech meetups to create the community, et cetera, et cetera. And I saw that the wording that I was using then to describe the pool, I was like, okay, so it looked like a certain way. Now we've been open for almost 2 years. And then you look at this article, the wording is different, still aligned, but it's tangible. And to see that other people agree with the vision that you have, this Marbella 2.0 vision, etc. I mean, for me, yesterday was a moment. So what you said is like, we like change, even though we feel that now what it looks like and what we stand for is set in stone. It has evolved, and it's come to this. And I think that what it's come to is Marbella 2.0.
Absolutely. I'd say evolution, not revolution.
Exactly. And a natural evolution, so really nice.
Christian, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alfredo.
And Marbella 2.0 isn't that Marbella 1.0 is a bad thing. It's on top of it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you.